Hi. Alrighty, so let's talk about how domestic abuse affects children. It does affect them. Some may not show it, but they are hurting. They are confused. They don't understand why this is happening, and they want it to stop. They want it to end. They may not be able to voice it, but they are hurting. Some may show it in their behavior. There may be change of behavior. And so in school, their behavior might change. At home, their behavior might change. They may become more aggressive. They may show a lot of frustration. They may be even withdrawn. So every child will show it in a different way. But a child or children living in a domestic abuse situation, it affects them indirectly. So you may feel like, no, it's just affecting me, the person who's being abused, because it's being done to you directly, the physical and all of that and the awful things that's being said to you. It's being done to you, but it does affect your child or children, but it affects them indirectly. So that abuser may not be abusing your children, but indirectly it's affecting them. It's affecting them in a very unhealthy way. And so it is important to take your children out of that living situation, that abusive situation, that situation where home is where the hurt is. It affects them. And psychologically, it's affecting them. They may not show it right there and then, but most times you will see it when they become an adult, especially boys. They will now become abusers. Even if they were hurt and did not like what was happening, they still become abusers most times, because there's a psychological effect. And so it's important, once you remove yourself from that abusive situation, it is important that your child or children get therapy. They should receive therapy, because there needs to be a reset in their minds, because their views of the world, of how family should be, of how a dad should be, of what mom should accept and not accept. If you have girls, their mindset is different. What they are seeing, what they are hearing, changes their mindset about the world, and even their own views about their future. So it affects them. So be very mindful of that. They are hurting. The aggression that they're now showing is because they're hurting. Being withdrawn is because they're hurting. And so they're also being taught, especially the boys, to become abusers. That's what they're learning. That is what's being taught in that home, in that abusive situation, in that environment where there is domestic abuse. And so therapy is needed to remove that train of thought, that way of thinking, to remove what could possibly develop in their adulthood. You don't want them to do to their girlfriend or wife what has been done to you. So it's important for them to receive therapy. it affects them. It affects children. You may be the one crying. You may be the one getting hit, punched. You may be the one who is you're receiving verbal abuse, but they are still being affected. And sometimes it shows right away, and sometimes it manifests later. And the manifestation is not a good one. They will just repeat what they saw, repeat what they were taught indirectly of how to treat a woman. And for girls, they will be taught that they should stay and take it, that it's a normal thing. And for boys, they will take it that it's a normal thing as a man to be aggressive. And it's not normal. It's not normal. It's not okay. And they need to become aware of that. So therapy is definitely needed. Children are affected by domestic abuse situations. If home is where the hurt is, they are hurting. So they leave that home of hurt and go out to school, and then they can't concentrate, they can't do well in school. They become distant as they're sitting in class. They develop emotional trauma, very bad emotional trauma, that which creates an emotional breakdown on the inside. And so they will become more fearful to move around in life. They will become damaged. Emotional damage will take place when a child or children remain in a domestic abuse situation. So it's very important to remove them and remove yourself. And also children will also develop resentment. It can be resentment towards the abuser, their dad, or it can also, or added, resentment to the mom, that you stayed in this. Why did you stay in this and allow him to do this to you? Yes, all those things. So being in that environment is not good for children. It's not healthy for them. And so they should be removed. It could cause emotional breakdown, mental breakdown. It is unhealthy for them. So remove your children and yourself from an abusive situation, and immediately put them in therapy. It will be needed, so that there's a great chance that they will not repeat the abusive actions that they have seen and verbally abuse another woman. It affects children. So remove them from that situation. Thank you.